started living life at the age of 21.
What sparked your curiosity for photography?
I just wanted to make women look beautiful through my photographs. I was quite bullied and like sidelined and like for all sorts of things. So silly to compare your journey with anyone.
What was the first major project that came your way?
Jacqueline used to give me a lot of ads, and that's when it started, like from her to another person to another person. I'm inspired by him every single day. I don't know how that man does it.
Interesting. Very interesting. No one's said this on the podcast till now. Hey everyone, this is Shruti. Welcome to my podcast, I'm Just Curious, where I talk about all things I'm curious about with the people I'm curious about and how they turn their passion into their profession. In today's episode, I'm talking to none other than Sasha Jairam, a renowned fashion photographer born with an innate talent for storytelling through imagery. Being bullied in school for her South Indian accent led her to explore her creative side, and there's been no looking back ever since. Sasha has carved a niche for herself in the world of photography, with a portfolio boasting campaigns for industry giants like Elle, Hugo Boss, and Harper's Bazaar, to name a few, and a client list featuring Bollywood's brightest stars. Join us as we delve into the creative journey of Sasha Jairam and the stories behind her most iconic photographs. Hi Sasha, how are you?
Hi Shruti, I'm good.
Are you awake now fully?
Yeah.
We were waiting for you to be awake so that
I usually don't drink coffee, but I had to be like
for this.
for this, yeah.
Okay. So let's start. How are you feeling? What's the vibe?
Today,
All good? Yeah.
all good.
Good.
I'm excited.
Excited? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm also excited. We've talked about a lot of stuff off camera. Now we're going to talk a lot more now.
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning. What sparked your curiosity for photography? Like, I know I saw in your TED talk that you were bullied as a child for your South Indian accent. So let's start from there, because that's where the journey began for you, I can say,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So talk to me about that, and how did the journey actually start from there?
Funny story. I was in high school. I come from Shimoga actually. It's
Okay.
a smaller town in Karnataka,
Hmm.
not Bangalore. I just came from Shimoga to Bangalore. I finished my 16 years of schooling in Shimoga and went to Bangalore for like 2 years.
Right.
And I mean, I just went there and I joined like an international school. For me, going from a CBSE syllabus to international A levels, I just went there because I wanted to do A levels, you know. I was quite bullied and like sidelined and like for all sorts of things, like my accent. I had a very thick South Indian Kannada accent,
Hmm.
okay, and I come from that, and then I had like these constant insecurities of my arms showing because it was quite dark and like it was just too much of complexities in my mind, and like constant criticizing myself in my head. So I'm like, I never understood that until 10 years later. Then I realized, okay, this is why I took up photography, just to make sure. I think it was like a subconscious belief that I just wanted to make women look beautiful through my photographs. But I think it was just all subconscious. I
Yeah.
didn't plan on this. I didn't do anything. It was completely like a passion based situation, I never thought I'll ever pick up a DSLR. I never thought I was like a camera friendly person. I never thought I just knew I was only good at one thing, which was taking pictures of myself. I used to
Okay.
like change my profile pictures, like how literally you put on like different
Pictures every other
no
day.
different clothing every other day, so it was like I was obsessed with myself. There was extreme self-confidence, but also came with a lot of complexities. I think every human has complexities.
Yeah.
It just takes them years to understand what they are, Yeah, this is how I started it.
Okay, you were bullied, but then how did you actually like start? You started taking pictures of yourself and you started liking it, and then you were like, okay, I have a...
No, so I was bullied. So I was like, okay, 2 months later, I was like, let me fight it, let me fight. Then it became 8 months. Then it wasn't stopping. Then I realized it's not my issue. It's something to do with them.
them.
Then I was like, okay, fine. So I told my mom I can't take it anymore. And my mom said, okay, fine, forget them. I'll put you into homeschooling. The 12th grade was homeschooling. Okay. And then I failed all my subjects in AS levels because I couldn't study. I was
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, it was like torture for everybody to see their child go through something like that, you know. And then the next year, I went into homeschooling, and where I actually had so much of free time in my hands that I was like bored after my tutors left my home.
Yeah.
I was bored. So I made friends in the neighborhood. Like somehow my life opened up, and I made really good friends. They're my friends till today, you know. And I started clicking pictures like randomly, like anyone I thought was interesting face to click. I said, come home, I'll click your pictures. No, no charges, nothing. Like I just started it as like, I want to click her picture.
Yeah, like a hobby.
Yeah, hobby. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just passing of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I started clicking, one led to another, and then one of my friends' pictures got selected for Miss India randomly, and my picture was all over Times of India, this, that, this. Then I worked with Miss India later. I think that was when I was like, okay, cool, you know, I'm not good at studies, I'm not good at anything except pictures. So let me just take it up.
Yeah. So that's when you finally decided to
Yeah.
pursue it as a profession
Yeah.
rather than just keeping it as a hobby.
Yeah.
Which is great. Talk to me about, from there, like you started taking these pictures. When was like, so you also did a few programs, from London College of Fashion, short courses in New York. And so talk to me about that, your academics, like why did you feel like you want to study aspects that connect to photography, like say for example fashion, styling and all of that? Like why did you feel like, okay, I want to explore this also and then get into full-time photography?
I just see, that time of my life was during when all my friends were going into university. It was not like job. Like I couldn't just work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like stuck in that period where all my friends went to university, and I was like, university, that doesn't seem interesting to me. Like I just felt like I already felt like I had my sense of calling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like quite a turmoil because I couldn't really relate. Everyone became unrelatable because all my friends became like, oh, they're doing this in New York, NYU, which university, that nothing interested me. Universities just didn't interest me. I was like, I don't want to study. And my dad said, go study, get some kind of degree or whatever, like even a diploma, which is fine. So I said, okay, fine. I went in, and then I really didn't bother looking at the books in university as well, you know. I would just like go partying and like everything. Like I just lived my life because I was so depressed for the last 2 years. I just wanted to just enjoy my life. So my life literally, I think I started living life at the age of 21.
Okay.
Literally.
Okay.
Until then, it was like constant in my head, you know.
Before you like, which is when you started like doing photography as a
profession. And I
profession.
feel like everything I looked at was inspiration. I never looked at, oh, I'm in London, let me study, let me get this degree. Never. It didn't even enter my head. So I was just like, let me live my life because I finally know I can breathe, because I felt like I have life in me finally, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I can understand that. I can relate to that.
Yeah.
You started living way before than I started living. I feel like I started living at 27.
Yeah.
Which was when I went to Paris. And before that, I feel like I was just existing.
Yeah.
And I get that feeling. I understand that
until
feeling.
you feel that the purpose of
Yeah,
life.
yeah, you're like that something is missing.
Yeah.
Something that I'm supposed to do or I'm supposed to get or understand or, you know, is missing. And
I'm glad I got this very early in my
early.
life.
Yeah, yeah,
Now I understand.
yeah.
But back then when I was going through it, I was like, this only kid was like feeling like a complete full-fledged adult.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how am I relating to my dad or dad's friends or my mom and my mom's friends than my own friends?
Hmm.
And I felt like an ancient person at
An
the
old
age
soul.
of 20, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very old. And I felt like, oh my God, I don't know. But then somehow life just gives you what it takes also, you
Yeah,
know, in
yeah.
like a large scale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, true, true. So now you were doing all these courses and you finally decided that, okay, I want to get into this.
Yeah.
How did you actually start in, like, as a profession? Like, initially you were like asking people to come and, you know, pose for you so that you can click the pictures of them as a hobby. But now you are doing it as a profession. So how do you start doing something like that? So if somebody is watching, if they are thinking that, oh, I also want to become a fashion photographer, but where do I need to start? What do I need to do? Are there some courses that I need to do? Or is it like I need to get more practical experience working with photographers like you? So how did you start and what would you recommend somebody that how should they start?
Okay. Everyone's journey is different.
Yeah.
Let's begin from there. I always had amazing support from my family, so I'm grateful for that. And at the same time, my parents were very progressive for their age and generation. Thankful for that. But I also feel for everyone, right? Like everyone tries to compare their journeys with other people. They're thinking, oh my God, how is she doing so well? How is he doing so well? I'm like, it's just timing.
Yeah.
Everyone has different journey.
Yeah.
It's like simple as that.
Yeah.
And it's so silly to compare your journey with anyone, you know.
True.
I also feel people who want to start photography is all about, like, they need to travel a lot. Even if it's in India, you need to be free here. You need to be free here.
Interesting.
You shouldn't have like barriers, societal pressures, all this. I know it's easy to tell because
Yeah.
I don't come from, see, my parents are traditional but not conservative.
Right.
But at the same time, my dad does care a lot about society, and he is a person who is a businessman.
Yeah.
And he's a traditional man. But for me as an artist, I had to break all the barriers in my head. I don't want to prove it to anybody, but in my own head, you know.
Yeah.
The minute you do that, you just realize no degree can give you a photography degree. It's all in your subconscious mind. It's literally your life. It's literally how much you live, how much you feel life is how much you add to your art.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I never assisted any photographer. I just felt like assisting a photographer is fine because actually, you know what? I was struggling to understand how this industry works
Right.
for a long time. But also, that didn't even enter my head. I was just doing photography as a passion. I didn't know which photographer was doing what was he clicking, what was he doing, nothing.
Yeah.
I just focused on my art and I stayed in my lane, you know. But at the same time, I just realized for people who want to get into photography, firstly, have a camera. Buy, it doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be something which is a professional, functional camera. And once you start clicking pictures of anything, plant, this, whatever you find interesting, you know, a subject to you doesn't have to matter to, you shouldn't live for the people. You should live for yourself, what interests you. Because for me, women and female body comes very easy to me. Like, I just understand women in general, you know. So it's just, you need to find that. Like,
Right.
yeah. But assisting for me, I think it helps them how to get into, it helps people how to get into the industry quicker. But thankfully, I have communication skills or confidence skills that I just can speak to anyone, you know.
Right.
I don't have this barrier in
You
my
can
head.
network and
Yeah. And it's not called networking in my head.
yeah.
I'm a friendly person.
Yeah,
Simple as that, you know.
No, people call it as network, but it's more like building relationships and building
The funny part
and getting
is-
to know people.
Yeah, but that's funny because
Yeah.
as much, however you're in school, how you're friendly with friends in school,
Yeah,
take it forward to your adulthood.
exactly.
Why do you have to think of it as networking?
Yeah.
Why do you have to think of it as getting to know people for contacts? No.
Yeah.
Just be friends with anybody. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like you have to get work out of them.
True.
You know,
true,
be
true.
nice to a person who is sitting and clicking your pictures or helping you get your equipment or whatever.
Hmm.
So it was very like, I'm a friendly person. I'm just like having a conversation with you. I
Yeah.
don't know you.
Yeah.
I can become friends with you
Yeah.
now, you know. So for me, I just felt like it was just like, be nice to people and they're nice to you back. And it
Hmm.
was very easy for me
True.
in the industry. It was not like a roadblock.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So there's not like, you wouldn't say that, you know, having all the experience, because, you know, sometimes people are like say for example me, if I would like, you know, if somebody would ask me about podcasting or something, and they would ask me, oh, how do we start? So then I will go back, oh, what were these things that I felt like, oh, I could do better, or I could have navigated it in this way. So then I tell them that. But you are saying that there's no formula. You know, what worked
There
for
is
you?
no formula.
Yeah.
It's as simple.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Yeah.
And people are nice to you back.
Great. I love that.
That's it.
Very simple.
And it's so funny how people call it networking,
yeah.
name of the game. I'm just like, no, it's just be good at what you do and people will find you.
Yeah.
And if people find you, be nice to them. They'll
Hmm.
find you back again. It's as simple.
True.
It's like, don't complicate
Completely.
it.
Yeah. So true. So
you
true.
know?
I agree
Yeah.
completely, because, you know, when I speak to, like, say
Because
for
I was
example,
a bit
when
complicated in between, because I'm a beginner, right? I'm also intimidated. I'm also thinking, oh my God, this girl might do something, girl might do something. No, it's all in your head. The trust
Hmm.
issues have to leave.
yeah,
Yeah, but it takes time.
it takes time.
Yeah.
True. True.
And
Oh.
assisting, again,
Hmm.
if I assisted someone in the industry, I just felt like that would take away my genre of work, you know? Like I
Hmm.
would start to like get that person's feel to my work, which
Yeah.
I didn't want.
Being influenced by their
Yes,
style,
but
basically.
you can't help it, but you will be.
yeah.
But I just realized assisting is not for me. I'd rather do my test shoots. I have worked hard.
Of course.
Like for 5 years, I used to do lot of test shoots where I used to be like, let's do this, let's do that. I used to do 3 shoots a day,
Hmm.
3 shoots a day.
Hmm.
And I used to be like, just because it was not work in my head, it was
Hmm.
like passion,
Yeah.
like the drive that
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to deliver the same picture. If I shoot you today, you will have the pictures today. I'm
Hmm.
not going to procrastinate.
Yeah.
It was like complete discipline for 4-5 years.
Yeah.
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 And then I was just like, okay, I've created my portfolio. I don't need to do any internship. I have my solid portfolio. And I started getting commercial work step by step,
Yeah.
year by year.
Yeah.
You grow. Yeah.
True. True. You know, when you said test shoots,
Mm.
somebody watching, what exactly are test shoots? And also, when you talked about the camera, if you can, getting a little technical, if you can suggest somebody of the kind of camera, because there's so many equipments available in the market and it's so overwhelming to, you know, to find out what should you get. So, you know, coming from a photographer, you know, if there's one brand that they can start
Canon.
with, okay. And
I've always used Canon. So,
Okay.
and I'm not so good with tech.
right,
I'm all about my vision
right.
and creativity.
Hmm.
I don't really lights also I understood like recently, maybe like 3 years back,
Hmm.
being very honest.
Yeah.
I then so many of my friends in my journey have helped me a lot,
Hmm.
and yeah, and my assistant has Jagan, who's helped me a lot with lights, the knowledge of lights. So I
Yeah.
am now a pro.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I consider myself.
Right.
Yeah.
And what do you call, like, what are these test shoots that you were talking about? What does
How
a test
people
shoot mean?
learn on set, like if you're assisting a photographer, you
Hmm.
go on his sets and
Right.
learn how to shoot, how to speak, whatever, set lights, whatever, right?
Hmm.
I learned everything through my assistant.
Right.
Yeah.
On your own, like experimenting,
I used to
doing.
ask him, I'm like, you are my teacher. Tell me, like, because I was good with my vision. I knew what exactly I wanted to shoot, who I wanted to shoot. All that is in my hands.
Yeah.
But lighting was something I struggled with.
Yeah.
Then slowly, I just got a hang of it through
Yeah.
Jagan, obviously,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
one of my other friends.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's a very good thing that you mentioned about lighting, because I was going to ask you this. Since I started doing the podcast, from season 1 to now, I've seen so many videos and this and that, and I feel like something's not right, or something, and I feel like, okay, I think the major, most important part in shooting something, be it pictures, be it videos, I think is the light. And how do you figure that out? This is what I felt when I was looking at my videos or something. So, what do you think you've learnt about light? Because I am curious about light so much. I'm like, I want to study light. Like, how do you figure out light? How do you figure out lighting? What do you think you've learnt about lighting? Like, which is like you can use that kind of setup in any shoot, and the pictures are gonna turn out great.
Yeah, there are so many kinds of light which is like safe for
Hmm.
me, especially. I have my own genre.
Right.
Very romantic, dreamy, sexy. But for me, it's very like, I'm very happy with my backlight and like complete um top light. It's very like important for me to feel like there's no right and wrong
Right.
in light knowledge. If
Hmm.
you go study photography, there's always like a technical term. This kind of shadow, that kind of shadow, this kind of shadow. I'm like, I can't learn all of this. I'm just like, I have one vision in my head.
Hmm.
I really want to get my vision right. That's it. I don't care about what the eyelid, shadow falling on your face. I don't want to know that, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure the whole imagery is perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And if it's perfect to me, it's perfect, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
It's pretty much kind of like having a vision and translating it without
Yeah.
like getting too technical. This is what I want. Now, if this
Yeah.
technical thing is used in it, great. Or this is used in it, great.
Yeah, for me, I don't want my art to be so technical
Yeah.
that I forget that it shouldn't be so technical, that it shouldn't be so perfection, this thing, right?
Yeah.
It should be like more flowy, fluid,
True.
you know. It should be like, if it pleasing to your eye,
Yeah.
then forget it.
Yeah.
Just move on. Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. That this, if you put too much technicality into
Exactly,
creative
it's
work,
art, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not learning mathematics here.
true.
It's not 1 + 1 is 2
Yeah.
here, you know. You have to bloody play with it because it feels like nicer if you go with the flow.
Yeah.
Like fish in the sea.
You were doing these test shoots, right? After these test shoots, what was the first major project that came your way?
Like a
As a-
breakthrough.
Yeah, as like a proper fashion photographer, a brand hired you, let's say, what was
So many,
that
but it was coming like,
around at the same time?
yeah. Suddenly, like the whole Bollywood started like clicking with me.
Acha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember my first big breakthrough, to be honest.
Right. Huh.
Really, I don't remember. Jacqueline used to give me a lot of ads, and
Okay.
that's when it started, like from her to another person to Kapoor's to every.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So I
Yeah.
think Jacqueline shot
Yeah.
shot with her a lot, and then
Yeah.
it got out there.
Yeah,
Great.
when I was 23, she started giving me a lot of work.
Okay.
She trusted me. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So then what was after that, you've worked with brands like Elle, you worked with Hugo Boss, Aquazara, you've done campaigns for these brands. So talk to me about that. Like, how do you, do you get overwhelmed when you shoot for brands so big? Or what's your mindset about, like, when you go for a shoot, like say for a individual person, like a portfolio, as compared to when you go for a shoot for a brand, go shoot for a brand?
No, I
What
never get
changes?
into.
Nothing
I never.
changes. Okay.
I don't get intimidated
Right.
with anybody,
Right.
thankfully.
So
Yeah.
have you but faced any particular challenges that come with
Yeah.
big projects? So what are some of the challenges that
I
you
was
faced?
once shooting one celebrity, and suddenly my hand started freezing. And that's the only time I've been so intimidated, because he was very intimidating. And I
Okay.
was just like, what happened to me? I thought I can't be shaken by anybody, you know?
Yeah.
I suddenly went like frozen, and my camera stopped working at the same time.
Okay.
I said, shit, like, what a bad timing. And then suddenly, God forbid, like 5-10 minutes later, it started working and the shoot went well. But that time, I just
You
felt
got
like,
a little, what happened?
what
Like,
just
this never
happened?
happens.
No, but me getting intimidated
Or
is
not
very rare.
intimidated, but like, faced a challenge maybe, is what I mean.
So many times.
Yeah. So what are some of
Technical
those
challenge-
challenges, like practical, like work-related challenges that you face, like, or any technical challenges that you have to overcome?
Technical
Anything.
challenges I've faced.
Okay.
I mean, that's in nobody's hands. It's
Yeah.
like tomorrow your electric switch goes off. How can you help that? It's
Right.
just not in your hands. But obviously, even if we have like 100 other alternatives, like different wires get, the tethering wire stops working, how can you help that? You just can't. You just have to move on, like, has to like find an alternative, whatever. But practically, with my confidence getting intimidated by a person, no. I just find every celebrity is a human first.
True.
So don't get intimidated.
Yeah. Great. I mean, you pretty sorted in terms of how you approach your work, basically, is what I can gauge.
Yeah.
And you keep it pretty simple. You don't like complicate things, which is great.
Hmm.
From there, how did you move to creative directing, like a fashion based marketplace?
Yeah.
Ushk.
It's Giselle Tank from New York.
Okay.
She is in the Real Housewives of New York.
Okay.
So she started her own multi-designer e-commerce platform,
Right.
Indian and Middle Eastern clothing.
Right.
I'm the creative director for the brand. All her
So-
shoots and like everything.
What made you want to get into that? Like, why did you want to expand that,
So funny. I was just sitting on the sofa and she messages me on Instagram.
Right. Did
She's
you
finding-
manifest it? Were you like thinking about something like that?
No.
No? Okay.
Even like Altco, I wasn't thinking of branching out to get like a business or whatever. It just it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, touch wood.
Yeah. Talk to me about the, Altco, which is like a plant-based milk company. What made you want to venture out into a venture outside of your creative field?
So many people are lactose intolerant, and somehow my really good friends from Bangalore have started this, and I have a small part in it as a partner, in the sense of advisor and like creative director for the whole brand, and a partner, obviously.
Right.
And I'm just like, it's so important to keep evolving as the generations pass by. And also, I just wanted to be in the business side of it, just because it is sustainable in the long run. So that's why we started it.
Yeah. Interesting. It's not many people have come up with products like that. There are products that are coming up, but yeah, it's something that's going to grow, and we're going to see more brands like that in the future.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm glad, because both are doing really well.
Right.
I mean, Ushk just is like launched like last month.
Okay.
I mean, we have like a lot of designers who are going to be on board. So yeah, it's going to be really big.
You're
Yeah.
enjoying like a different side of, like, creative.
I mean, I'm
work.
enjoying the business side of fashion, you
Right.
know? Yeah.
Yeah.
I also love the business side of fashion because I have business in my blood.
Right.
So yeah, I think like making money comes a little easy to me. Maybe I'm my
Okay,
dad's
interesting.
daughter.
Interesting.
He's a
Businessman.
trailblazer. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I'm inspired by him every single day. I
Okay.
don't know how that man does it, but he's just like a one-man army, and he's created such a big um, empire for himself and us that
Hmm.
it's just he's iconic,
Okay.
and I just feel like from scratch. So for me to have that kind of metal mindset, it's so important because
Hmm.
I'm super emotional. That's why I'm an artist also. So yeah, I kind of have both.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
also super, super strong. So I have like completely
A
a
good mix.
balanced personality. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, a good mix.
Hmm.
So, yeah, earlier when we were talking about the celebrities, so I thought of doing this segment with you where I show you pictures that you've clicked for campaigns or something, and I wanted to ask you what was the vibe at that moment? Like, what was your headspace? What were you thinking, and how did you get that picture? So, starting with like this billboard picture of AP Dillon. So, what was the vibe on set, and how did you decide to take, like, how did you come up with this picture? Like, what was the creative brief that was going on in your head?
They had like this mood board already.
Okay.
I really liked it. It was Travis Scott's more. I think Travis Scott's editorial, which was clicked at in 2021.
Okay.
So yeah, it was really good lighting, and I said, let's just do it, but obviously emphasize on our own creative lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
from my own
basically,
eye.
playing a little bit with the lighting and the mood board, keeping the
Yeah,
shoot as an inspiration
yeah,
of an artist.
yeah.
Right. Talk to me about this picture of Kareena Kapoor for Harper's Bazaar.
Yeah.
What was the vibe with her? How is it like to be around her and to click her, first of all, if you can share that? And how did you come up with this picture? Like,
So funny. That shoot was amazing, actually. Nandini Balla, who was the editorial of Harper's Bazaar at that point,
right.
she's helped me so much. I really owe so much to her because I feel like she saw that I have talent in me, and this was my first big cover.
Okay. This was one of your first.
One of my first big
covers.
covers. It was really big because she trusted me with her anniversary issue. And I'm this new kid in block, and I was just like so grateful for her for trusting me. And then it went really like people spoke about this cover because she's not really looked like this apparently previously, because I don't know so much. Funny thing is, I'm from Shimoga. I didn't even watch Bollywood movies ever.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is surprising for myself.
Yeah, I mean, she looks lovely, and the pose also is lovely. So, like, do you give her the pose, or
I
she
gave
comes
her
up
the
with
pose.
it?
This pose I gave her the pose.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. It
I
looks
just
really
feel
good.
like women just I just made sure like she looked a bit more free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that picture.
Yeah, I can see
tell,
that.
yeah.
The body language is very like open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Talk to me about this picture that you did for Boss.
This also was a brief, and it was like complete flash fashion photography.
Okay.
So it was really good, actually. Like, we clicked it on the way to the reception in Milan, the hotel. So it was really good.
Right.
Yeah.
So you came up with the outfit and the everything, or like they had the outfit and the everything, and you just came up with the picture that this is how you want to do it, a close up. How do you decide, like, if it's going to be a close up, if it's going to be like a full shot that you're going to use? Like, how do you?
This, I think, I took like a mid shot. I didn't plan it.
Yeah.
It just
okay.
happens.
Okay.
With all my shoots.
Yeah.
I never plan.
So, but do you take like full shoots and like mid shots, and then you figure out
I figure out
whatever
yeah,
works,
yeah.
you do it? Okay, great.
I'm very easy. I just go with the flow.
Right.
And then the selection time, you select the best images and crop it however
Right,
you want.
right.
Yeah.
True. Talk to me about, you recently even shot a campaign, like a portfolio for Malisha Kharwa.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
What made you want to do it for her? Because she's such a young girl and she comes from, some people would say, like a slum of Bombay.
Yeah.
So, what made you want to do it, and how was the experience like doing this for her?
She just contacted me on Instagram randomly.
Oh, actually, she contacted you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And her manager got in touch with me, and she's, I think, signed up with someone from America.
Okay.
So Robert got in touch with me, and then he started planning the shoot. And I said, I don't want to charge you because
Right.
I really want to help her.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
And
how
that's
was
it. And then after months, I think 8-9 months later, there was like this BBC people.
documentary
Yeah, like
that was being made?
yeah, people from BBC just emailed me, and then they started asking me like if they can use my photos and stuff. I obviously charged them.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Good,
then,
good.
Yeah, to use my images, and then Daily Mail used my images, so I charged them. So it was not like a commercial thing anyway. But she's a really sweet girl. I
Yeah.
think she has a bright future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not many people get opportunities like that.
Yeah.
And
No, I found her very interesting and so ambitious at such a young age, and she wants to really, really work hard for her family and stuff like that.
she has a drive. I've seen
Yeah.
her Instagram like long back. I think came across some video of hers where she was showing her house.
Yeah.
And she was with the photographer or somebody who had come from US who found her,
Yeah.
basically who discovered her. And so she was showing that, and I could see there's so much spark and there's so much drive in her to do what she's doing. Even when she was talking about the Forest Essentials commercial,
Yeah.
campaign that she did. So she was pretty ambitious and driven.
She's very ambitious.
Yeah, very ambitious.
Yeah.
She
First time you
knows.
speak to her, she just knows what she wants.
Yeah.
And she's very professional.
Right.
Like, I feel like so many people don't have that here yet.
Right. Yeah.
Even at our age, Yeah.
True. Youngsters nowadays, they
Very
are more
goal, yeah.
focused, and they
Yeah.
are more clear in terms of what they want to do.
Yeah.
What advice would you like to give someone, like, say, you've always talked about that you understand women better. So if you want to give any aspiring women photographers some advice on how can they start, or what to expect, or like just in general, what would you tell them if they want to enter into this industry, and how should they do it, and what's the most important thing to keep in mind?
I just think everyone should just come with a clear mind and a clear goal. And I also feel distractions as much as possible avoid. It's impossible to avoid, but as much as possible avoid, and be a bit like tunnel vision for a few years at least, until you mark your place in the industry. And then, yeah, maybe like just let loose and like go. I mean, but still have like the tunnel vision going on the side, but also let loose.
Yeah.
But also be free in the mind.
Yeah.
That's the most important
Yeah.
advice that I would like to give. But photographers, obviously, I've said it in
Yeah.
the beginning of the interview.
I also want to talk about something that we were talking about off camera. We, like, when you noted something about me and you immediately asked me, oh, do you believe in astrology? And you said, I can read charts, and you were asking me about my moon sign and about my ruling planet, which was something that I was not expecting to have a conversation about, but a pleasant surprise though. I would love to talk about that also a little bit. Like, what got you into astrology? Were you always into astrology, or like
my really good friend really introduced me to astrology when we were in London, and I was like never into astrology. Never have I ever listened to my mom or dad speak about astrology in their entire life. And then I was like, interesting. It's so funny. If I'm curious about it, there are millions of people who are curious about to know what is going to happen next, because that's the problem, you know. And I feel like it's also blessing to know because there's guidance, but
Hmm.
at the same time it's also a boon is because you know too much, you know. But also I like astrology is because I am interested in the unknown,
Hmm.
so I like it.
It's fascinating.
It's fascinating to
It's
me, yeah.
intriguing. Now we'll move to a little bit more fun segment, which is called Curious Quick 5. So I'm going to ask you these 5 questions about things that you're curious about lately. So are you ready?
Yeah.
So what's the one thing that you're curious about apart from fashion, photography, travel also you mentioned that you travel a lot. But apart from these things, what is something out of the blue lately you're curious about?
I'm curious about people in general, you
Hmm.
know, and I'm like curious about their journeys and like how they do what they do, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the one person you're curious about? Living or dead, it could be anyone.
Mm. Mm. One person I'm curious about. That's too like hard.
I know, but like somebody that comes at the top of your head, like right now, or somebody who's like evergreen, like that person never goes out of the list.
Oh my God, there are too many iconic people in my mind all the time. I'm always watching YouTube videos of successful people,
You can name a
interviews,
few. You can give.
right?
You can
And
name a few.
I don't know who really. I can't think of.
One
Just
person.
now, my dad just sent me like a video of this real estate tycoon
Hmm.
and his podcast. Wait, I think I have it on my. It's Mr. Hiranandani.
Hiranandani. I was
Yeah.
going to say, but then I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he sent me his podcast. I found it very, very like
Insightful.
you know when you watch people like this, you feel like, oh my God, life is so simple. We complicate it so much, and I keep looking at these people as like such iconic people. You know,
Yeah.
I love successful people. I find them so their mindset is something I'm so curious about.
Hmm.
Always, because you know, when there's no problem, you create your own problem. That's me. Literally.
Yeah. That's, I think, so many of us. Like, not just you, but like, yeah. But yeah.
Because I really don't have issues. It's just that I'm so bored without issues, you know. So I overthinking,
Yeah.
constant,
Yeah.
for God knows why.
Yeah.
Life is
Fine.
simple. You just have to like make it more simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. How can one make life simple? What is the easiest way to make life simple?
By living in the present.
Good one.
Yeah.
What's the one place you're curious to travel to?
One place, I really want to go to Antarctica.
Interesting. Very interesting. No one's said this on the podcast till now. You're the first one.
Yeah.
What's the one book or author you're curious about?
A book or author I'm curious about. Like I've read already, or
Or maybe you want to read. Maybe you're looking forward to read. Maybe the mindset of the author makes you curious about how he comes up with these ideas.
I do read, but I can't think
What's
of
the latest book you've read that you loved?
The Freelance Way.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
I don't know the author, but
Okay.
I did read the book called The Freelance Way.
What was it about? Like,
It was
in brief?
completely about how you can make your life completely a freelance. It's literally all about you.
Okay.
You decide. It's all about decision making.
Right.
Yeah.
Decision making,
Yeah.
basically. Right.
Because
Good
I
one.
struggle with decision making in certain part of my life, but rest all like my outer part of my life is completely decisive. I know what exactly I want. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the one technology that you're curious about?
AI.
Yeah. And there's like a lot of, for the creative industry and like in editing or things like that.
I don't know, I don't know. Like, of course, AI will be a huge part of the future, but I'm just like, it's gonna unemploy so many people.
I don't think so. I mean, somebody recently said this. I don't know who, but recently I watched it on some podcast or I heard some clip on Instagram where someone was like, AI is not going to replace jobs. It's going to make the job that you're currently doing more easier for you to do. So you need to work with the technology. I think Dhruv Rathi was talking about this in one of his videos. The
Yeah,
YouTuber.
but I also feel if everything like a campaign is set on AI, this is set on AI, that is set on, I'm like, is this the future? Because I'm just like, because the technology is so advanced. Every day there's like better than better than better than better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just like wondering.
Yeah.
It is curiosity for me, but I think for me, I've always been like a person who evolves with the new.
Yeah.
So I don't get stuck.
Right.
So that confidence I have. So
yeah. Basically, that's what,
I'm not stuck on anything. If
Hmm.
tomorrow photography dies down, okay, fine, photography dies down. It's not an emotional connect.
You're not attached to it.
It's an emotional connect, but I am not attached to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great actually.
Yeah. And I don't get stuck on.
You
know,
if something
I worked for so long, let me do this for that, I can't give it up. So I'm like, yes, you don't have to give it up, but you can like evolve into something new. Yeah.
True. You always have to keep
an
keep
open
that
mind.
space, you know, where you are going to evolve and things you might want to do something else tomorrow. So that's always there with everyone. But that's great that you have that quality. It's very rare.
It's just
to have.
having open mind.
Yeah. It's rare to have. You know, people get stuck a lot.
Yeah.
And get attached to the work that they do and everything.
Yeah.
Great. So now we've reached the end of our conversation. And any last thoughts, any feelings that you would like to share about our conversation that we had today, and how did you feel?
I felt good.
You felt good?
I felt like it was easy.
Okay.
You're actually good at your job, by the way.
Thank you.
It was not like there was no icks in between. Actually, you know what? As a child, I've been like doing these interviews since I was a kid, and I didn't have confidence to speak on camera or on stage. That's why the TEDx obviously sucked because I was constantly nervous.
Yeah.
But now I just think every passing year, my confidence has gotten way better. Like I can't imagine. I used to have sweaty palms and my hands are not sweating today. And that energy that you have, so it's a compliment.
Thank you. I take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
It's a huge compliment actually, because
you make it easy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Like very like understanding and flowy.
Yeah. Thank you. We were talking about this, like I was talking about this to my makeup artist in the morning, because some of my friends told me, like one of my friends told me that people open up to you.
Yeah, you do.
Make them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So this is the right job that you're doing.
Yeah.
And I didn't, you don't know that about yourself, but sometimes people can see around you. So they tell you.
Because you have done your inner work. Against spirituality.
I have actually. Yeah.
It takes a lot to do inner work.
Yeah, I have.
I have done it too. So that's why I said, right? It is also spirituality and photography is like literally hand in hand. People don't understand that really, because photography is also the unknown. It is not the real life. It's an illusion, right?
Right.
Same as spirituality, it is the unknown. So the minute you start going inward, my whole world opened up. Like literally, like people who I didn't even know came to me for work. Yeah. It's literally, the trick is to do the inner work. Like that 1 year of just being by yourself and sitting and knowing what you exactly want clears your path for the next 10 years. Literally. It's that 1 year of irritation and struggling and loneliness,
There couldn't be a better note to end this conversation on, than your words about spirituality and, doing the inner work and everything. And may you find the light, the brightness that you are looking for to find very, very soon. And hopefully after that, we can have one more conversation.
For sure.
And hope to doing this with you again. Thank you so much for being here. It was lovely having you.
Thank you, Shruti.
Thank you.